Hey, what's up guys, YouTube and we're back here today with week 11 of the APA, facing off against Mew2FanNate. And yeah, this should be a pretty fun one. Nate's got a pretty solid team. He's got the nice defensive core of munchlax and the pumpkaboo, so really solid defensive core there. He's got a lot of offensive power in his house. He's got Salandit and Bagon, who's used really well this season so far, so yeah, definitely some offensive threats to watch out for. Before we jump into the match, I want to thank Phantombass for joining my team this week and Panther for recording my game. So yeah, we're going to jump into the team we're rocking this week. We've got a Sash lead Meowth. This is here to predominantly anti-lead versus his potential rockers, being Geodude and Piplup. I am carrying C-Bomb as well as Fake Out on this set, so I break Sturdy and Bop Geodude with C-Bomb, and I can knock off into Seed Bomb to weaken down the Piplup for my other teammates to really have an easier time. Then we have a Scarfed Smoochum here, which is a really solid win condition in the late game. If I can reduce his Ice Beam switch-ins in Munchlax and the Salandit, if I can take those out of the picture, then yeah, Scarfed Ice Beam is just really solid, as well as Piplup. And of course I am carrying Side Shock on this set, so I can 2-KO Munchlax and Oko Salandit with my other form of stabs. So yeah, Smoochum just really having a solid matchup here. Then we have a physically defensive Spritzy. This is here to counter Bagon, as well as being a really reliable win con in itself, considering it is a Carmine Wish Tech set. Obviously I have to watch out for Salandit. That thing needs to be removed before my Spritzy can put in work. But the offensive nature of my team really kind of allows for that. Then we have a kind of mixed defensive, predominantly specially defensive Volibee, one of my great answers to the Salandit, as well as a really solid answer to his Pumpkaboo. I can just knock off spam versus his team. Nothing wants to lose this item. Brave Bird is amazing here. You see he's got the Mareep, more than likely his Volibee check. Nothing else really wants to take on Volibee. And yeah, very solid Defogger versus his team. I am not carrying hazards of my own, so removing his hazards if he does manage to set them up past Meowth will be really nice in terms of switching into things. It also helps with certain Berry Juice Calcs on my Corphish. And that is going to be the next one I'm packing this week. We do have a Berry Juice Corphish. With SD and Knockoff, I can actually Oko Pumpkaboo depending on rolls. If he's like the biggest extra large Pumpkaboo with max defense, which is pretty crazy. And yeah, Aqua Jet is just looking really solid in the late game. Crab Hammer, Okoing, stuff like Munchlax, it's just insane. And then we have a Power Herb Thief Litleo, so I am Solar Beam Power Herb, which means I will be able to bop the Piplup after its Evilight's been knocked off, and proceed to steal Munchlax's Evilight or Berry Juice or whatever kind of item he's holding, which could be really nice for me. So that's going to be the team. It's certainly a kind of quickly thrown together team, but definitely fun, and it's got a real kind of game plan going in, and sometimes that's all you really need in a team build. Obviously in a big game you want to really think it through, but in this game it's pretty simplistic. Meowth anti-leads, Corphish, Litleo, they both break, Smoochum cleans, and a defensive core that can check his team pretty well. So we're going to jump into the game. Like I mentioned, Meowth is my lead of choice, and depending on whether he leads a rocker in Piplup or just an offensive threat, I will be able to use Meowth accordingly. So Nate is going to send a challenge, and he is going to lead with Salandit as I end up leading with my Meowth. Like I mentioned, I don't have nicknames this week, unfortunately. I did forget them when I sent them to my Jenna, so unfortunately they aren't going to be present, but you guys all know what they are. So going to fake out his Salandit here, and the damage on this fake out reveals that he is indeed an offensive Salandit, so that's good to know. He's not some like a bulky set, which yeah, has a place here to check Spritzy. So he's actually going to go for the Sludge Bomb, outspeeding my Meowth, revealing that he is a Scarfed variant. And so we do knock off his choice Scarf here, and Meowth is going to claim its first kill. So he's now going to send in the Piplup, and if this thing wants to set up rocks for my Meowth, he's going to take a knockoff into a C-Bomb here. So I'm just going to go for the knockoff, remove this thing's Evilight's. It's no longer able to take a Solar Beam from my Litleo, and it's going to be a lot easier for my Jinx to win in the late game if I can remove this thing now. So he's going to take out my Meowth, but that Mon has essentially killed 1.5 Mons here, so definitely happy with that exchange. Going to bring out my Litleo, and right now we are going to reveal the Z Solar Beam. I think this was super obvious, like an incredibly obvious play. But the reason why I was okay with making this play, like Like, really, he could have just gone out into his munchlax here. But even if he'd done that, I would have thiefed the next turn, and I would have taken that thing's item, which would have been really, really big for Smoochum. So he's now going to go into his munchlax, and that is what's going to happen. He's going to bring this thing in, and I'm thinking, alright, I'm going to thief his berry juice, or I'm going to thief his Violet. But yeah, Big Nate actually brought banned. So banned munchlax. I think my kind of, like, I'm assuming he brought it as a way to like help break through my fat defensive core, which is fair. I am just going to get some chip on him here with the flamethrower, and he does just take me out here with the body slam. So he was already kind of in range of Crab Hammer from Corbish, so flamethrower covered him, making like a play out into Gorgeist, expecting my hyper voice or something there. So he is going to go, he's going to stay in here and just kind of die to the Crab Hammer, because yeah, Corbish is a monster. And if I had SD'd and I had been like, yeah, even just Berry Juice or Life Orb, and he'd gone hard into pumpkaboo, he would have really paid the price there. So I can understand staying in there with the munchlax. So he's going to bring in his Mareep now, and I'm going to go into Spritzy. I always take on Mareep with Spritzy. Spritzy like cannot be beaten by this sheep, unless of course we get powered down. As you're going to see, he's going to throw off a discharge here, and he's going to get the power on the first turn. So unfortunately, Spritzy will be paralyzed here. But that's alright. I'm just gonna fire off a Moonblast, as he does hard switch out. He's gonna go out into his pumpkaboo here, and I'm thinking, oh, this is okay. I'll get some damage off. I'll determine his set, and yeah, we'll go from there. Unfortunately, I get parried, and this kind of sucks, because if he, I'm expecting this pumpkaboo to be in a Violet set at matchup, at least a Violet, potentially Colbur, but more than likely a Violet. Definitely defensive. That's my thought anyway, as it is his kind of only check to my Corbish, which otherwise just destroys his team. So getting that Moonblast damage on would have confirmed my suspicions of him being a Violet, or it would have told me that he's actually an offensive set, which he ends up being, as he's going to reveal right here the Z move. And this is where I say it was unfortunate that I got parried, because yeah, if I had that knowledge, I would have just gone hard out into my Volibee, which would have just checked this thing all day long. But defensive, like Spritzy, like hard checks a Violet defensive pumpkaboo here. So he is actually going to reveal to be a Z-move variant, and that is going to be the end of my Spritzy. So pretty unfortunate there, but that happens with paralysis. It's unfortunate, but part of the game. So gonna move on. We're gonna bring in my Volibee here, and I am gonna fire for Brave Bird. It is guaranteed to knock out offensive pumpkaboo from full, as he actually does go out into his Mareep here, as opposed to staying in. I could have gone for knockoff. I absolutely could have gone for knockoff, but Brave Bird was a guaranteed kill, and I did not want to get Will-O-Wisps with my Volibee, as unfortunately you're going to see here, we get static parrots. So yeah, this man is getting lucky with the parrots, but that's why you're on static. You know, that's why you're on static Zapdos, to get those paras. And static Mareep is just coming through from here. So any kind of chip off on this Mareep is going to put him in range of Smoochum, which is pretty much going to guarantee my win. And that is what you're going to see. I am going to get the knockoff off, removing his Violet. And yeah, really just putting him in range of young Smoocher in the back to kind of clean up with Ice Beam. So I'm going to fodder off my Volibee. No point like preserving Volibee just to like hopefully dodge a paralysis with Smoochum. My play is always to stack it there and just bring in Smoochum here. And yeah, had to come in and click Ice Beam because Mareep is not living. I am actually modest Smoochum on this set. I could afford a modest nature with a Scarfed that would still allow me to outspeed +1 Jolly Bagon, so that's pretty crazy. As yeah, modest Smoochum is just ridiculously strong with its dual stab. So now he's going to switch out into his Pumpkaboo here, and even if this thing is like max attack, Shadow Sneak, even with a max roll, he cannot kill me here. So I know that my Smoochum is safe, barring a crit, obviously, but he obviously doesn't have the Shadow Sneak. He didn't go for it, and yeah, his Pumpkaboo is going to drop here, and that's going to leave his Bagon as his last remaining Mon. Now, if he's like a Sash Bagon and he manages to live my Ice Beam, I do have Aqua Jet on Corpish in the back, and I am Berry Juice, and I do live any unboosted hit anyway. So yeah, we had that win wrapped up there. So that is going to be a nice 2-0 win to round out Week 11 versus Mew2FanNate. Definitely go check him out. Pretty chill guy. Don't know him too well, but he seems like a pretty relaxed guy. And yeah, that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a like if you did. Let me know what you guys thought of the match in the comments. And I'll catch you guys next week for the final week of the regular season. It's almost playoff time, so we're sitting firmly at the top of the league. I think we're 10-1 at this point, and with I don't know what our differential is. It's like 27 or something like that. And yeah, so we're looking pretty good for playoffs, obviously. And I think we play the 8th seed, so that'll be interesting to see who that is by the end of next week. But that's going to be it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time.